Is up, realmers and pups, furries, fays, dragonkins, cryptids, mythical creatures, beings of consciousness, concepts of reality, gamers alike. How it be, what it do, and what it is. Welcome back, welcome back. So we got more of this awesomeness ahead of us.
On May 25th, 1988, Richard Kuklinski
So
was
we're gonna
convicted of multiple murder and sentenced to life imprisonment.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure
This
that we're
ended
doing
30 years of cold-blooded killing by a master
a
criminal
good job
police
here,
called
trying to.
the Iceman.
Richard Kuklinski.
I mean, I don't know. The last part was like
we have ever come across in this state.
was a record, I think.
He murdered by guns.
So much fame in a single part.
He murdered by putting poison on victims' food. He did all of this.
Of course I miss out on this because I teleport to this and not the players. Of course.
Were uninvolved in his criminal activities. Yet, we are faced with convicting evidence of numerous grisly murders.
Okay, Lord of the Lost Lands. I don't know.
An approximate guess.
Yeah, here, we're gonna try to.
Approximate will go.
Let's not stack on top of the boss now. Alright, hopefully I get over here in time.
How do you feel about killing?
I don't.
Alright,
Doesn't bother
good.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Whoa, what the heck?
I don't have a feeling one way or the other.
Okay, Shield of Ogmer. Let's see what I get from here.
I think if I had a choice.
Ah, tarot card pack. Okay. Alright. Okay,
The
so
following program is based on 17 hours of an interview conducted under maximum security at Trenton State Prison. Law enforcement officials allowed
Okay,
our
so we're gonna-
cameras unprecedented access in an attempt to uncover details of various unsolved crimes.
yeah, we're gonna make sure we're
It was
being
also
safe.
hoped that the interview would help to penetrate the mind of Richard Kuklinski, a mind made for murder.
Depending what this is. Okay, it's another one.
Richard, when you were on the streets, what kind of weapons did you use?
When I was out on the street to do something, I carried 3 guns
Oh my god, there's way too many.
and a knife. I had a Derringer in each pocket.
Yeah, way too many enemies around here.
And a gun on my ankle.
Or
Pick up a gun just in case.
maybe it's enough for
And a knife.
Okay, this is definitely
It all
going down
depends
first
how it
though.
came about.
You indicated yesterday that he used a shotgun rather than
Okay.
a stomp light or something like that.
Now I'm gonna have to go
I
over
had a
here.
knife. We
What was
were
that? Astral
following this
Rift?
fella.
Ooh, damn, and they're gonna split because Painium is over there.
I pulled up with
Damn it. I know they're gonna look, they're already going over there.
a red light.
Like
Came
moths to the
alongside
flame.
And shot the shotgun, took his head off. He never saw the green light.
You know
It was
what?
a sawed-off shotgun.
Can't beat him, join him. If you
It was
can't beat
very,
him, join him.
As a matter of fact, when it happened, it surprised me. I expected the
That thing at the bottom is probably a
man to,
world's oyster.
die, but it really surprised
Most
me
likely.
that it would have took his head off. It was something I didn't expect.
Okay,
Richard Kuklinski is not a serial killer.
what are they laughing at?
He's not a drug-crazed, wild man running around with a machine gun.
Okay, so it's definitely the world's oyster.
He's not a person that is driven by perverse
What is this,
sexual
beer god?
desires.
Okay,
He doesn't drink.
most likely gonna
He
go down
doesn't gamble.
first.
All of these things, which many persons
Damn,
that
look
are
at that.
involved in killing and murders
Freaking
often are
damage,
motivated
dude.
by.
Yikes.
Richard Kuklinski, instead, is nothing more than a predator on human beings. His motivation is
Alright,
greed,
come on.
and his method of murder is very varied.
Good stuff,
very
good
extreme.
stuff. All right, next was this aerial warship.
Use of cyanide.
Aerial warship.
How many times did you kill with it?
Quite a few.
What's the different ways you use cyanide?
You could
It's just a little spooky. You have to get
put
close.
it in liquid form. You could, person could say, for instance, a person could be in a bar. You bonk into them, possibly by mistake, or say you were
You
intoxicated,
bonk
spill a
into them
drink
by
on
mistake.
and leave.
Man, I don't want to be teasing this guy.
Everybody just looks around, thinks you were drunk, or that you just had an accident or something, and meanwhile,
Oh my God, it's
soaked
phasing me out.
goes into their pores and into their system, and eventually they'll die.
Okay, another
I've been in a
oyster.
restaurant
Damn, another oyster.
where,
And I'm assume that's a Skull Knight.
and the guy went to the bathroom.
So Skull Knight's probably gonna go down first.
While he was in the bathroom, we put a little boost in his,
Oh, never mind, it's a patriarch. What the hell?
his food.
Dude, I am way off right now.
He was rushed to the hospital after that, and he died.
Damn.
And they buried him.
Damn. He died and they buried
I'm
him.
not exactly sure what they put on, what they attributed his death to, but you know.
Come on, die, dude. Die,
It
die, die,
wasn't
die, 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 die,
homicide.
die, die.
Somewhere, and I don't know where,
Okay.
he
Woo.
picked up on cyanide poisoning as being a good way, a good, quick way to kill somebody.
All right,
It's
that's
such a
probably
good
the
way
Skull
to kill
Knight.
somebody that's the gas that's used in gas chambers. I mean, cyanide in a gas form,
All right, here we go.
which is similar to cyanide in an
Yeah,
in
dude.
heat
Oh,
form,
this scepter's so close
kills
range.
very quickly. It kills faster than arsenic, faster than strychnine, and it's hard.
All right, another
to
warship.
detect.
I mean, hey, more chances at the
If the person,
spell,
if it isn't
right?
specifically looked for.
He murdered, sometimes months apart, years apart. He used different methods.
Oh my God, come on.
He would go so far as to
I'm getting thirsty. I'm getting
plan in his
gluttonous.
crimes, the
I
actual
want that fame.
deceit of law enforcement. By that I mean he would on occasion murder someone, cut their body, wrap them in layer after layer of plastic bags and material, and then deposit the body many, many miles from the murder scene.
What is it to dispose of something? You throw it away. You throw it anywhere.
Oh my
It all
God.
depends if you don't want it found, or if you want it found. If you
All
want
right,
it
gotta
found,
be
it
close
doesn't
enough
matter,
for
you
that.
just leave it there.
For that loot.
If you don't want it found, you can
Damn,
take
they
it
took
somewhere.
that out fast.
You could bury it.
Freaking greedy, man.
You could
Come on, I'm trying to do a
put
series
it in
here.
a big drum. You could put it in the trunk of a car and have it crushed. You leave it in town, put it on a park bench. I mean, you know, you can put it anywhere you want. They found
I mean, that's
food
kinda funny.
sitting on park benches, I'm sure.
I just imagine someone's like, hey man, what's up?
As a matter
And
of
just
fact, I know they
silence.
have.
It's like, whoa, rough
Are
night,
there any
silence.
murders that you committed that haunt you, that you just sort of you feel and you
Nothing haunts me.
Yeah, I believe that. I
No
don't think
murders.
anything haunts that dude.
Nothing. I don't think about it. That's
Funny
why
shit.
it's hard for me to tell you. But in order for me to be able to tell you when something happened, I have to think about when. If I think about it,
Starts licking lips.
it would wind up hurting me. So I don't think about it.
So he's acknowledging he can feel.
If I had a choice, and of course you has already said to me we all have choices. Maybe we do. At the time I didn't seem to have one. But if I could have, I would like to be different than what I am. I would
Okay,
like
so
to
I'm
be
already
different
about to
than
hit
what I was.
1,000 fame
It would be
already.
better. Would have been better for me I would have liked to have a better outlook on life.
Ooh, 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 doo, 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 doo. Yeah, you see that right there? I got paralyzed. That's no
But
bueno.
I can't change yesterday.
I can't change yesterday.
Richard Kuklinski was born April 11, 1935, in a low-income public housing project in Jersey City.
That's what caused it, was his low income.
His father was a brakeman for the railroad, and his mother worked in a meatpacking plant.
Oh, that's what caused
I
it.
didn't like my father.
Bring your
He
kid to
would
work
beat me
day.
Just because
Gone sour.
he felt like it. To get my attention, I guess. He would think nothing of coming in and smacking you. Yeah,
Okay. Abuse.
basically.
Mom works in a meat packing factory.
He just come in and give you a whooping for no reason whatsoever. And my mother was cancer. She would destroy everybody. She thought I took too long to do something. She didn't hesitate to give me a swat here and there. And she didn't just use her hand.
Yikes.
She would hit me with a broomstick or something like that. It wouldn't. It hurt.
Hurt.
As a matter of fact, she broke the broom on me more than once.
Richard's
Damn.
mother believed that harsh discipline at home should go hand in hand with a rigid religious education.
I
There
was
we go.
raised, Catholic. We were very. She was strict as far as the religion goes. I went to.
Your mother.
My mother, yeah. My mother, we went to Catholic
Dude,
grammar school.
I'd be feeling tense in that
And
room.
we were raised with the Catholic belief. I was even an altar boy. But
Oh, there it is. Yep.
during the course
Altar
of my
boy,
life,
huh?
I don't really believe it.
I mean,
It's
I
just
believe
the way
it.
it happened. Didn't mean it to happen that way, but it just happened that way.
When his father
No, I
abandoned
think
the
something
family,
caused it.
Richard, a skinny, timid young teenager, was left to fend for himself. He was an easy target for street gangs, but by the time he was 16, things began to change.
When I
Ah,
was a young man, I found out that
he
if you
has a
hurt
power,
somebody,
right?
they'll leave you alone.
There it is.
Good guys do finish last.
I don't know about that, buddy.
When I tried to leave everybody alone, just do my own thing, everybody just wanted to hurt me. Until one day I just decided, well, I've had enough of this picking. And I went upstairs and I took a bar, which the
bar,
clothes
huh?
used to hang on in the closet. And I went back downstairs and there were like 6 young men still figuring they were gonna mess with my head, and we went to war.
Went to war, huh?
To their surprise,
You killed him, didn't you?
I was no longer taking the beating. I was giving it.
Ooh.
And that's when I learned that it was better to give than to receive. I've been known to hurt people for
His first
no
taste
reason.
of
If you check
power.
out my background as I came up.
That's
I
what
could be
seeded it.
anywhere, and if somebody humiliated me, I would think nothing of hitting them with a cue stick. In an instant.
Instant.
And the only thing they might have done was
Chill out. This guy killed hella people. I could tease him.
or challenge my authority at the time.
Kuklinski's reputation
His authority,
as a
you
tough
hear that?
guy with a hair-trigger temper grew. By the time he was 18, the abused had become the abuser. It wasn't long before he committed his first murder.
I got into
Usually
a
how
fight
it goes.
in a bar. We got into an argument, a fight. And I hit him with a cue stick. A few too many times. And he died.
How did you feel
Yikes.
after, when you found out he died?
I had felt very bad. Very, very bad. I was upset. I didn't mean to do it, actually.
I don't know.
But surprisingly, I felt sadness. And after a while, I felt something else. I didn't feel sad. I was sad along with some sort of a rush that I had control.
You got
If
an
you mess with me,
endorphin.
I guess it's
Endorphins from the pool stick.
I'll hurt you.
That's where he
By
got
the
his
time
power
he'd
from.
reached his 20s, Kuklinski had become a petty crook and pool hustler. Then his life changed. In 1960, he met a pretty 19-year-old girl named Barbara Pedrin.
He was absolutely flowers at the door every day and considerate and romantic and all of the things
Giving you the love that he
anybody
wanted, I see.
could hope for, dream for. He
Yeah.
brought me beautiful things. We went fun places. He was happiest when we were together. He was happiest when just he and I were together.
He and Barbara had 3 children. But with just an 8th grade education, he could only get low-paying jobs that didn't pay enough to
8th
support his
grade?
growing family.
I didn't have the capability of getting a better paying job. Was I gonna push a yarn truck the rest of my life? Make menial amount of money? I couldn't have afforded 1 child, let alone 3.
We're all living that now,
He
buddy.
went to work at a film lab, where he began to pirate pornographic films and sell them to outside sources connected to the Gambino crime family. This connection led to other criminal activities, and it wasn't long before he went from being a small-time hood to
Uh-oh.
a big-time killer.
Did he happen to talk to Pee Wee Herman in a movie theater?
Hitman, and associated with a gang that worked out of the notorious
Ooh,
Gemini
DD.
Lounge in Brooklyn.
Rip.
Above the lounge was a
Rippin',
mafia killing factory where victims were killed and dismembered.
rippin' King DDD.
Hacked bodies were packaged in plastic bags and carted away. Kuklinski was the perfect enforcer. He was brutal, and he knew how to intimidate. If people owed money, they either paid up or paid with their lives.
Damn.
Most people paid their bills. Some didn't. I remember one guy, he was owed a lot of money. Well, I guess consider a little amount of money.
What'd you do to him?
He thought he could hide behind the door. It was a nice door, expensive door.
It was a nice
Anyway,
door,
yeah.
an expensive door.
Most people don't realize that when you come to answer a door, if there's light in the background, the person on the outside can look through the peephole and see the guy coming to the door. So he came to the door, I asked who it was, and he looked through the peephole. He never saw it in.
For Richard Kuklinski,
you shot him through the
murder had
peephole.
become a way of life, and the macabre became the commonplace.
Did you ever use a chainsaw? I mean,
To cut someone up? Yes.
He's licking his lips as he's talking about it. Do you hear it?
To dismember them, yes. Not to kill them, no.
what was it like to cut somebody
That's
up
just
with
the cherry on top.
You know, the other guy was dead. How did it feel to cut some guy up with a chainsaw?
Well, I didn't have any feeling one way or the other. That just happened.
Well, I
That's the
think
way
at
it had
that
to be.
point, you just become numb to it.
Messy.
Yes.
If you have a conscience, you would take other
Yes, it
serious
was.
action.
Did it make you sick?
No. I've had requests where the guy wanted the guy's tongue cut out,
Damn.
and he also wanted his tongue put in his rear end.
I mean, hey, he didn't say ass.
So I believe there was a definite point he wanted to get across.
So, I mean, I guess, he has some
I have
manners.
an experience that I don't know if I should tell you.
He's going to anyways.
It probably would offend a lot of people.
You gonna tell us anyways? Come on, you know you're gonna tell us.
I don't know. I don't think I should. I'll go into that.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good one.
No, go ahead. Tell him.
He's like, alright, you might as well. Come on, what is it?
There was a man, he was begging and pleading and praying, I guess. And
In what? I'm on the edge of my seat
he
here,
was
buddy.
pleased God and all over the place. So I told him he could have a half hour to pray to God. And if God could come down and change the circumstances, he'd have that time.
Oh man, so what, did he?
But God never showed up.
Oh, damn.
And
So,
he never changed the circumstances.
he's all like, yeah, I killed a
was
bunch of
that?
people, but this one story, I don't know if I could tell that one.
It wasn't too nice.
Yeah, you think?
That's one thing I shouldn't have done that one.
You notice the displacement of killing someone opposed to,
I
playing on
shouldn't have done it
religion.
that way.
Saying I shouldn't have done it that way.
By the 1970s, between his illegal activities and contract killings, he was becoming a wealthy man. He now lived in an expensive home in a middle-class neighborhood with his wife and 3 children.
Richard, what did you charge for a hit?
If I hit somebody, I wouldn't hit it for peanuts.
Hold on one sec.
I'd
There's only
like to have
19
some-
roamers in this one.
Some money. I say if I were to do somebody, I want at least 5 figures.
5
At
figures.
least up in the better half, not the lower half of the 5 figures.
So about like
Kuklinski
50,
kept his
60,000?
criminal life secret from his family and neighbors. He told them he was a businessman. No one knew his business was murder.
We were perfect. My children were never in trouble. We were perfect. We were the all-American family. I mean, we had what seemed to be the perfect life. They were wonderful times. And time with his family was the only thing that he was really concerned. I mean, if he never had to leave the house, he would have loved it. He hated to have to travel. He hated to go away.
Have to travel.
He
She
came
knew
back
what was
as soon
going
as
on.
He wanted to
She
be
paused there for a
home
moment.
all the time. He wanted to be with us all the time.
I enjoyed that way of life. I felt I had achieved something. I very seldom left the house unless I had to, because I felt secure in the house. I felt very secure.
Oh, it's just like a happy
I tried
place.
to provide the best for them as I knew how. Might not have been the right way to go, but it was for me the only way. I tried to
there's
never
more
let
roamers over there.
anything
Let's
touch the house.
Oh,
I brought nobody
damn, never
there.
mind.
My family was not exposed.
Never
to
mind. Okay,
anybody.
go back, go back, go back.
I wanted to show them the good side.
Go back,
of
please.
life, not the bad side.
Yeah, see, look at that already.
Richard had a very, very sad childhood. You got the impression, or I knew because he would like say something and then drop it and change the subject, that he was abused. And that there was no
Yeah,
love.
you
He
think?
grew up absolutely without any love, without a doubt. I mean, the first Christmas with my family, he was in awe. He couldn't believe it. was a tree, and
That's sad.
and everyone was cooking special things, and there was lots of, we were laughing, and it was fun, and he kept saying, I can't believe that this is what happens.
It was a Jekyll and Hyde existence. The way it was, the way I wanted it to be.
Oh, that's his little
Absolutely
fan
two
fiction.
Two different lives. I wanted one life. I had to have another life.
This other life would interrupt one
Should I?
Christmas Eve
Let's see.
while his family was celebrating the holidays. Kuklinski left his home to collect on a bad debt. Business was business, even on Christmas Eve.
Even on
The man owed me
Christmas.
money. He was giving me a runaround. I told him I wasn't happy that he wasn't going to pay me. Hey, he had the attitude that nobody could hurt him.
Ooh, but you hurt people, don't you?
I think he was wrong.
You think?
Only
What
way he
happened?
never saw Christmas.
Damn. Cold.
What did you use?
A gun. Extremely loud inside of a car.
Yeah.
Long time.
What'd you do afterwards?
I walked away, got in my car, and went home.
What'd you do when you got home?
I put toys together for the kids for Christmas.
Jesus Christ. Dude, this guy's a monster.
I saw the broadcast while I was putting the toys together that came down. Mob-related killing. That was the first time I knew I was mob-related.
Really? Not all the other
How'd you feel?
things? Couldn't tell you that?
I was annoyed I couldn't get the damn wagon together.
I never questioned him. And you
That's
just knew,
wild.
don't do it. Don't ask.
That's genuinely
He got
so
up at 2
wild.
o'clock in the morning or during dinner and put on his shoes and walked out the door. You said bye. You didn't say where are you going or why are you going. And it was just understood that that's the way it was. He was very private. You only knew what he wanted you to know.
By the 1980s, after
but I think you
25
knew
years
more.
of working as a hitman for the mob, Richard Kuklinski became the head of his own crime ring. He developed new ways to profit from murder. The case of Paul Hoffman was typical of the way he operated. On the afternoon of April 29, 1982, Hoffman arrived at a warehouse leased by Kuklinski. Like numerous victims of the Iceman, he had
It's a
been
little
set up
scary. I
for
gotta get a
phony
little close.
business deal.
Paul Hoffman was a pharmacist, and he was looking for a quick buck. He was out to purchase a drug called Tagament, which
Tagament.
was at the time a wonder drug for ulcers. And he felt that
This
if
guy's
he
trying
could
to cure
purchase
cancer
a
or
large
something?
quantity of this Tagament at a very low price, that he could indeed make a huge profit on that. And that was the alleged deal that he had with Richard Kuklinski.
Isn't it crazy? You have more of a
Paul
probability
Hoffman
of getting
showed up
caught
to buy
selling
the Tagament.
medications.
He was carrying $25,000 in cash.
He took the bag, door opened it, showed me a whole mess of money, a whole mess of cash. He
Okay.
said, "Look, I got the money right here. There it is." And he came back,
And it was gone.
and he says, "What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? How am I gonna get this merchandise?"
Oh no. He's licking his lips again. What'd you do, man?
I put the gun under his chin, and I said, "There is no merchandise."
Damn.
And I shot him.
So he likes one-liners. That's like the bulk of what he's
He
doing.
didn't die.
Oh.
The gun jammed. He was gurgling. I had hit him. It was, blood was pouring out of his mouth. And
what else? What else happened, man? So you did a one-liner, it went bad?
he was in I would imagine it looked like he was in a lot of pain. So there was a tire iron in there. I took the tire iron and hit him with it, which knocked him out. And he died. I then took him.
Damn.
And put him in a 50-gallon drum, put it on the side of a motel. It was behind Harry's
Chad
corner.
Thunder. Oh.
I listened to the people. I went in Harry's.
Yeah, I can't say that name.
The thing was there for a long time.
But rip in peace, Chad Thunder C.
I looked at it every day.
Dang.
It was there. I went in Harry's every day. One day it was just missing. Continued to go in Harry's to see if anything was said about it. Nothing was said. I don't know what happened to the drum.
By the 1980s, Kuklinski
Dang,
was
he doesn't even know what happened to that
narcotics,
thing.
Pornography, arms dealing, money laundering, hijacking, and contract killing on a worldwide basis.
The World
He was
Wide
also
Web.
pressing 50 and getting tired.
He was doing this in his 40s?
He started to make mistakes. He began to leave traces, and law enforcement officers who had suspected him over the years began gathering evidence. Kuklinski would protect himself by killing anyone who could testify against him.
Damn.
On December 27, 1982, a body was discovered at the York Motel in New Jersey. The body was identified as Gary Smith, 37. Smith had been given cyanide and then strangled to death. This was the
Dang,
first of
Gary.
many mistakes Kuklinski was to commit.
Gary Smith was found under a motel bed in New Jersey.
Wow, what a hiding
As
spot.
I recall, where some 20 people had used the room in 5 days, and nobody had realized there was a rotting body underneath it. The body was found
Damn.
in a decomposed state. It was very hot weather. Smith would have not been identified as a murder victim if he had died only of the cyanide. If the cyanide had worked and he had died, and he didn't need to be strangled, that ligature mark around the neck wouldn't have been seen, and he would have been possibly a drug addict overdose, or lots of other things of a non-homicidal nature would have
That's
to be
wild.
considered.
Why would you
On
even say
September
that to the
25th,
public?
1983,
That's
the body of
deadly
Louis
information, dude.
Masday was found. As he had done many times before to confuse the time of death, Kuklinski had frozen the body in an industrial freezer. This was the murder that earned him the name of Iceman.
Iceman.
This murder was also his second deadly mistake.
Deadly mistake. You see that?
He
See
did
what they
too
did
good a
there?
job in that body, because he left that body in the freezer for 2 years, then took the body out and dumped it in Rockland County.
Ooh, vile.
And the body was found before it had fully thawed out. So the doctor doing the autopsy, the medical examiner in Rockland County, when he opened the body up, saw ice inside the body in the summer's day and said, there's something wrong here. This guy
Yeah.
could not have died 2 days ago the way he looks like from the outside.
On May
All right.
14th, 1983, a bicyclist was riding down a lonely road in
Ouch.
a wooded area and saw a buzzard feeding on a body.
What?
It was
Just-
Daniel Deppner, 44, the third business associate of Richard Kuklinski, to be found dead. The body count
Bubbles?
grew. There
Okay,
would
it's not
soon be
Bubbles.
5 unsolved murders with one thing in common. The last person to see the victims alive had been Richard Kuklinski.
Yeah, no,
After
that's
30 years of getting away with murder,
Kinda
Richard
suspicious.
Kuklinski's time was running out. He had been under investigation for 3 years, and the police were beginning to put the pieces together.
What I told
That's wild.
my superiors in Trenton was that,
the police are like, dude, it's got to be this guy. It's got to
hey,
be,
look,
but
you know, we can check with the FBI.
the issue is just trying to
and we
prove
can
it.
see
You know what I
that
mean?
there's
Because you got to be able to prove it
a
in
certain
court.
number of given serial killers.
Unless you just go
going around
rogue.
this country of ours. But take a good hard look at what we got
Ooh.
here. We got Richie Kuklinski. And there's only one of him.
There's only one of them,
In
yeah.
1986, a division
Unless he
of
had
the
a
New
twin.
Jersey Criminal Justice Department set up a task force made up of federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies. The task
Ooh,
force
that was a little scary.
analyzed existing investigative material and gathered new information. They had one mission: to arrest and convict Richard Kuklinski.
When I first read
That
the file,
sounds pretty
which
straightforward.
at the time was nothing more than a compilation of several different
A
unsolved
compilation
homicides.
of memes.
The more you looked for connections, the less you found in this particular case, because there was different types of murders, different devices used. The final method that was used was, in fact, the introduction of a undercover federal agent, Dominic Polifrone, who was able to win Mr. Kuklinski's confidence and was able to record conversations where he detailed his participation in these murders.
And you're telling me he didn't tell his
I
wife?
portrayed myself as a hitman. Told him I worked for the wise guys downtown New York, and my brother was downtown, and I went by the name of
Yeah, come on.
Dominic Michael Provenzano.
You willing to go out on a contract? If the price is right, I'll talk to anybody. Yeah? Sure. And you mean to tell me your way is nice and clean and nothing fucking shows up? Well, it may show, my friend, but it's quiet. It's not messy. It's not noisy. It's not, you know.
It's not as bubbly.
How the fuck do you put it together, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's not as goobly.
Oh, there's always a way. There's a will, there's a way, my friend.
We used to sit down, we talk.
Damn.
Either we'd go to those tables over there and get away from people, and we discuss how to murder people.
You know, I just have a few problems I want to dispose of. I have some rats I want to get rid of. Yeah.
Some
The
rats.
only fucking thing I don't understand, don't you use a fucking piece of iron to get rid of these fucking people? Use this fucking cyanide? Why be messy?
Excessive use of the word
You do it nice
fuck.
and calm.
It became apparent at later points in the investigation that Mr. Kuklinski fully intended on murdering Dominic Polifrone, in addition to the
Damn.
victims that were being discussed at the time they were having these tape-recorded
Isn't that
conversations.
wild? The only way
So
they were
he
able
could
to
pretty
convict
much
this
tell
guy
Dominic
was
Polifrone anything,
like talking to him?
because he knew shortly that he had plans for Mr. Polifrone too.
Doesn't that say a lot about the forensics back then?
Spray it in somebody's face, and they go to sleep. No shit. As long as he's dead, that's the bottom line. Well, that's
All right,
thing,
watch out for
isn't
the
it?
bubbles.
No matter how it was done, I mean, I know guys that went to sleep and never woke up again. I mean, you know.
He says he had one guy, he went and get a hamburger, they come back and he put the cyanide on his hamburger. And we're sitting down and he's telling me, he says, you wouldn't believe it. He says, I'm waiting for this guy to
I
keel over. He says,
Fireman,
because
rip.
once you eat cyanide, usually you'd roll over and that's
Rippin'
it.
I
He says,
Iceman.
this guy had the constitution of a fucking bull. He says, you wouldn't believe it. He says he wouldn't die, and we're both laughing about this. And I'm saying in the back of my mind, I said, holy God. I said, look at this. I said, what kind of person is this? I said to myself right there, I said, you better cover your butt. I said, because you just don't know with this guy. And he'd be kidding about it, and I'd be laughing. In the back of my mind, I'm saying, this is the devil. No question about it, this is the devil.
Yeah, no shit. Dude, this guy's evil. Fucking killed someone, went back home, and wrapped
On
presents
December
for his
17th,
kids.
1986, the Special Task Force set up a roadblock and arrested Richard Kuklinski outside his home in Dumont, New Jersey. They felt they had all the evidence they needed for a conviction.
Oh, they felt? Wait, they didn't have it at that
The
time?
whole road was blocked off with cops.
No way.
Local police, state police, Division of Criminal Justice investigators, county personnel.
That's
There was
crazy.
no place for him to go.
Ooh,
So he
ooh,
stopped his
ooh,
car.
ooh, ooh. Hey, calm
He was
down.
told to get out of the car, and he did not. So he was taken out of the car.
Oh, okay. I thought they were gonna be like he was shot.
and
I'm like,
he
he's
was
talking right now.
placed face down on the street in a position where we thought we were safe.
Oh, you thought? What
And then
happened?
I handcuffed him.
Oh,
That guy's big. I did everything I could to get one click on the handcuffs. And later on, I tried to put leg irons on him, and there's no way they would go on. They just wouldn't go on.
Oh, okay. That was rather
Law
anticlimactic.
enforcement authorities have arrested one of the most notorious contract
The way
killers
he
in
worded
state
that, I was
history.
like, whoa,
A
what happened
self-employed
next?
Bergen County man is behind bars, charged with 5 murders, and prosecutors are investigating his involvement in dozens more.
This is unwarranted, unnecessary. These guys watch too many movies.
I don't know. This is the guy saying all these one-liners.
The Iceman. After being convicted of 2 murders, he confessed to 2 others in court today.
Damn, he confessed to that?
5 times. Louis Masgay on July 1st, 1980.
Well, I mean, at that point, it's like, fuck it. You're already there.
I shot him once in the back of the head.
When the judge asked him why he had killed the 2 men, Kuklinski replied,
It was due to business.
Dominic Polifrone's tapes had nailed Kuklinski.
He was smiling because he's like, I'm in a movie right now.
Undercover cop with a smile.
He seemed to be quite cheery about saying hello to you.
Well, I reciprocated. The only thing is, I'm going home, and he's going to a different environment at the present time.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, dude, I'm so thankful for that call out.
We've just had a hard time.
I didn't even realize there was a whole nother guy over here.
And I kept saying, no way, and I don't believe it. And then when I actually heard his voice, you know, in court, it was very hard to believe.
I think she believed it. Come on. Why'd you say it was hard to believe? It's hard to believe it. I just couldn't believe it. Like, come on. Come on. The dude clearly had a mouth on him. Come on. She knew. She obviously knew, dude. Come on.
The federal, state, county, and local law enforcement agencies that were involved in this investigation is that Richard Kuklinski is one of the most dangerous criminals we have ever come across in this state. Further, it's our feeling
There's
that
my name.
There's my name. Such a diabolical, methodical type of killer that it's very possible that when all is said and done, we still may never know how many people he has actually killed.
What Richard has been accused of and found guilty of and
Yeah, I don't know if he'll
spoke to you about goes against
spoke to you
God
about.
and man.
You see that? Spoke to you about. Come on.
Very
He spoke to
feeling
her
I am
about some things.
Totally anti-violence. I mean, as are my children. And I can't make those wrongs right. I can't make them right in my own mind.
Right.
We are
Right.
Richard Kuklinski's family. And we aren't ourselves anymore. We're Richard Kuklinski's family.
Why'd she say that twice? See what I mean? Dude, it just, something's not adding up.
I've never felt sorry for anything I've done other than hurting my family. The only thing I feel sorry for.
Damn. Is he crying
I'm
about
looking
that?
for forgiveness, and I'm not repenting.
I mean, shit, I would, but I'm not gonna ever be in that position. But still, it's like,
No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I do want my family to forgive me.
I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Oh, is he crying?
I can make this one. Oh, shit.
He's like, damn, I'm showing emotion, man. I shouldn't be doing
This
that.
would never be me. This would not be me. I feel for my family.
All right, come on, let's kill this boss. Does he feel? That's kind of a far-off notion
Used
that
to
he
hear
would
this
feel.
man cry. Not very macho. But I've heard people that mean everything to me.
Okay, so he was a family man. That's interesting about him too, because usually serial killers don't have those harbor those type of feelings. Interesting. Ooh, made it just in time. Well of souls, baby. All right, and just in case. Okay, it doesn't really look like that's activated though. Let's see. No, it's not activated. Okay. Dude, that is. Oh, yes, it is. Woohoo! Come on, roamers. Shrine is activated. Let's go. Let's take this out before they hit up the other one, the other boss. Yeah, no, that's spooky. Yeah, and then this music makes you really think about it too. You're like, oh, damn. I mean, if I was in that business, I'd probably be a victim of his. Very spooky. Alright, Trickster's over there. What is that, floral? What's that? Oh, it's the dwarf. Okay, here's, wait, 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yikes. Oh, ew. Ew, look where we're at. Disgusting. No, that's very interesting. It's very interesting. The Iceman.
Reaching peak health, it's not as hard.
Oh my god. And we get this
Get started at noon.
this freaking ad, man. Come on.
Stability, precision,
Come on.
essence of driving. Lawful.
Oh, great.
In November 1957, police in the small town of Plainfield, Wisconsin, were searching for a missing woman named Bernice Warden.
Oh, Bernice Warden,
They
okay.
were about to make one of the most gruesome discoveries in U.S. criminal history.
Is this Iceman?
Turned on his flashlight and beamed it around and
Fleshlight?
saw this object that was hanging from the rafters, which at first they thought was some kind of gutted deer. They realized, to their incredible horror, that it was a woman's corpse. That
Oh
was
yeah,
hanging
a
by its
deer.
heels.
The twisted killer was a quiet loner named Ed Gein. Hidden
Oh, Ed
inside
Gein,
the
okay.
51-year-old's rural farmhouse was a ghoulish treasure trove of human remains.
Yeah,
There was a lampshade made of human skin. They found the remains of 12 human heads, gloves made out of the skin from a corpse's fingers.
You think of this happening, you know, now, it'd still be shocking. But back then, in a small, tiny rural community, it was breathtaking.
Yeah, no, I would
America
imagine.
had woken up inside the nightmare of Ed Gein, one of the world's most evil killers.
Yeah, he was a cannibal, no? Yikes. Way too many shots going off.
The gruesome crimes of Ed Gein horrified 50s America. When his rural home was searched
Oh,
on
it was the
16th
50s?
of November 1957,
I didn't realize it was the 50s.
The police uncovered a gothic house of horrors. As well as the remains of 2 missing local women, they found
gotta be
an
careful
array
here.
of human bones, skulls, and skin that had been fashioned into furniture and clothing.
Yeah,
The
that's
town
Ed
of
Gein.
Plainfield was in complete shock. One of the residents who remembers the effect Gein had on Plainfield is
I went
Max
trick-or-treating at that
I think
house.
shock would be the biggest thing that we could use to describe the atmosphere in the community. We were still pretty much a clannish community at that
Clannish?
time. A lot of the families that were here had always been here.
Whoa, clannish? What does he mean by that?
Yeah, it was shocking.
A clannish community?
People don't do things like that.
Is he talking about the
in,
KKK, the Ku Klux Klan?
Day. That's just not part of what we grew up with.
The story of this twisted killer begins over a century ago.
Damn.
Ed Gein was born in La Crosse County, Wisconsin. On the
Okay, he was in
27th of
Wisconsin. That's
August,
far away from where I am.
1906.
Good.
By the time he was 8 years old, his parents moved Ed and his older brother Henry to Plainfield.
Well, the Gein family moved to Plainfield from La Crosse, Wisconsin.
La Crosse? Isn't that a
partly
sport?
Because the mother of the
Isn't
family,
lacrosse a
the matriarch,
sport, or am I tripping?
Augusta, had decided that lacrosse was a kind of Sodom and Gomorrah-like hellhole, and she didn't want her children to be corrupted by all the immoral influences of the
Dang,
big
another
city.
Penterac. Cool, I'll take it.
Needless to say, La Crosse was not a particularly big city, but they moved to a remote farmhouse about 6 miles west of, you wouldn't necessarily say downtown Plainfield because there was no uptown Plainfield.
It's
that's
not
probably
the
a Skull
largest
Shrine.
city in the state of Wisconsin, but it's plenty big enough for those of us that live here.
Plainfield was a very remote, isolated, featureless little village. A state guidebook at the time described it
Ooh,
as
I
totally
Fireman
nondescript.
again.
The population was
Damn.
very small.
I Fireman, that's the
Never
second time in
more
this
in
part.
Sister, I think, than 700
Death
or 800
by a
people.
red flaming
Probably
skull.
the
That's
entire
ironic.
population of the village could have fit into a New York City apartment building.
Yeah, damn, rip.
The Geins' 150-acre farm was located on the corner of Archer and 2nd Avenue. Ed rarely got to leave the property and socialize with other children.
His mother, Augusta, is a very domineering character.
You notice how it's
indeed.
always their
She
upbringing?
is a devout
You know what I mean?
Christian, and she has some very extreme ideas about sin and about morality. And she drums into her sons that they're not to socialize with anybody outside of the family because all of the people around them in the local town are sinners, they're evil, all the women are whores. And so she creates
that's where it
this
started.
very insular family environment where they're quite isolated from the
Inshallah.
rest of the community, and that has a really significant impact on them.
Gein seemed to have been very friendless whenever he would make some kind of friend. On those rare occasions, when he would try to make a school friend and bring home a school friend, the mother would immediately find some reason to disapprove of the other child and forbid Ed from ever bringing him home. So he grew up
Yikes.
again in a state of complete social isolation.
Is that why he made the furniture? Because he just wanted to be
Gein's
surrounded by
relationship
people?
with his father was also far from perfect.
Well, the father, George, was an alcoholic. He appeared
Oh,
to have been
yep.
somewhat free in his
Figures.
use of physical punishment. But mostly the picture that emerges of George is of, kind of a hapless individual who was, as all 3 male members
Damn,
of the
there's like
family were,
2 of these
under
things
the
over
thumb
here.
of his wife, and again, who is regarded as much as anything else as a sort of obstacle or impediment to the household.
As Ed entered adolescence, his life became even more insular.
He dropped out of school when he was around about 12 or 13 to work on the family's farm. And he was considered to be a bit of an oddball. He was quite a loner.
Oh, we're not
and
getting
he
any
enjoyed
help?
Quite solitary pursuits, so he really quite liked reading and was.
No,
quite a
okay, there's
prolific
some
reader.
rumors here.
So he was somebody who didn't really fit in, but worked incredibly hard to keep the family farm going.
Join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime.
No, I don't
Deal
want to
ends
join
Friday,
Planet
October 10th.
Fitness. You can plan fitness. No, I can't say
The
that.
hardest thing is to get started.
It's the ideas and the choice of which ones to flesh out.
All right, what is it, Skull Knight?
Human discipline.
We have started to deal with computers in higher and higher levels of abstraction.
Man, this is. I feel like this is the quickest class.
Early on, people then end up spending more time on the decisions of what they want to actually make.
All right, sentient
On April
monolith.
1st, 1940, Ed's father, George, died of heart failure, leaving 33-year-old
Holy
Ed,
shit.
his brother Henry, and Augusta alone on the family farm.
Holy
Ed's
shit, get
older
away from me.
brother Henry seemed to have
All right, good,
freed
good.
himself a little more emotionally and
Yeah, you stay over
psychologically
there.
from Augusta's dominance, and even
Dominance?
apparently on a couple of
That's kind of
occasions
weird.
expressed some criticism of their mother and the hold she was exerting over both of them. So Ed, who at least on a conscious level, worshipped his mother and saw her as a kind of goddess who could do no wrong, appears
Yikes.
to have been both a little shocked, that Henry would find any cause to criticize Augusta, and possibly built up some kind of animosity toward Henry for that attitude.
Ed
Yeah, they're
became
getting
a
torn.
handyman, doing odd jobs around Plainfield to help with living expenses on the farm.
We used to see Ed occasionally.
Oh, the
I'd
crab
see him
sovereign.
around town, and then he was always a friendly person, quiet, friendly. Usually had a joke to tell. He always had time to say hello and ask after how you were. A person who you would never suspect of anything other than being a decent sort of person.
I mean, that's usually
In May
how the formula
1944,
goes.
Death would hit the Gein family once again, but this time in more suspicious circumstances after a brush fire on their farmland got out of control.
Ed and Henry were out there trying to put out the fire, and they got separated.
Trying to
and
put it out.
Ed could not
Right,
locate him,
right.
And he went and got help. But then after getting this help, he led the other people directly to where Henry's body lay. And there were some mysterious bruises on Henry's head. Anyway, the official verdict of the medical examiner was that Henry had died of a heart attack while fighting this fire and had injured his head when he fell and hit a rock.
Yeah,
Afterwards,
yeah.
when Gein's crimes were uncovered, there was a lot of talk that perhaps Henry had been a victim of Ed's. That
I'm
Ed,
watching
in fact,
for
had killed
these little
Henry
red things to appear
partly
around this.
because of Henry's criticism of Augusta.
Ooh,
The impact
Revio,
upon
rip.
their mother Augusta was phenomenal. She really broke down about Henry's death, and she had a stroke.
But of course, by then, the psychic bond between Augusta and Ed
All right,
was
let's
so
go.
incredibly intense already. Evidence seems to suggest that
Ooh.
with the other two men out of the way, Ed reveled
No.
in having his mommy alone to himself.
No,
But
no,
Gein's
don't tell
mother
me.
never really recovered from her stroke, and their time alone only lasted for 19 months.
Ed
Damn.
nursed her very, very diligently, even apparently would get into bed with her on occasion and stroke her and comfort her.
Ew.
And then she seemed to recover, but
Gross.
then she suffered another, this time fatal stroke.
Augusta
Yeah,
Gein
that's
died
gross.
on December the 29th, 1945.
5.
39-year-old Ed was completely devastated.
Because his
Yeah,
mother
what are you
was
gonna
so
do, man?
domineering, I think she really did stunt his development, and he almost got stuck at a kind of teenage adolescent phase in his life. So looking at how he behaved at the funeral, he was in his 30s at this time, and he was reported to be wailing like a
Oh,
small
no.
child. So he hasn't got that kind of emotional control that's associated with
Yeah, the little
30-something
loser
men.
crying like a
Because his
small
mother,
kid at his own
left
mother's
him
funeral.
Completely isolated.
Little loser.
Living in this
Crying like a
increasingly
baby.
ramshackle, dilapidated farmhouse.
Ooh,
that he ceased to
random
take care of
Q.
whatsoever.
Random coup.
Augusta was his
Rippin',
only real human
rippin'
contact.
randomness.
So it was at that point, that Gein embarked on these various outrages that would ultimately make him this notorious figure in American crime.
Alone and isolated from the rest of society, Gein spiraled out of control. Over the
Okay,
next
thankfully
12
I got some
years,
credit
he
for
became
that.
obsessed with recreating the world he'd shared with his mother. It would lead
All
him
right,
to a
corrupted
series of
Bramblethorn, let's
dark
go.
and disturbing crimes that would
Come on,
eventually
Realmers!
culminate
Come
in
on,
murder.
Realmers! Let's go kill this thing!
One of my summer jobs when
Cut
I
that
was,
fucking tree
in
down!
High school was mowing the cemetery, and my two of my buddies and I, that was about a 4-day job for us to mow
Oh,
that.
possessed pumpkin.
And we would see Ed out
Wait,
there.
what's
on
in Risen
occasion.
Hell?
He'd come out, and if he saw us working, he'd always come over and say hello. And again, sometimes have this little story to tell. And he was very good about stopping to see his mother's grave.
I think neighbors saw him.
Yeah, he was very good at that, huh?
Odd, very meek.
Sounds like that was his lover.
Simple-minded,
Kind
person,
of
but
icky.
One who was always willing to pitch in when some farm work needed to be done or some chore needed to be run for them. But they, of course, had no sense of the life that he was pursuing inside that incredibly creepy, dismal world of his own farm.
What's my favorite thing about the fall season? I would probably say the warmth of a home.
I would say human skin
the colors,
furniture.
the smells, those are those textures.
That's my favorite thing about the fall.
Like
Human skin furniture.
Living spaces.
How ironic
Go
for
back
that
to the
to be a
scene of the
commercial.
Through billions of articles on newspapers.com.
All right, this is gonna be the
Relive
pumpkin.
mysteries that left the world in suspense. Follow notorious outlaws.
Like Ed
legendary
Gein.
heists. Feel the chill of infamous cold cases.
Like
and
Ed
the truly
Gein.
bizarre.
Like Ed
Let
Gein.
photographs, ads, and mementos transport you to your favorite era and experience history firsthand. Newspapers.com. The past. Read all about it.
Newspapers.com.
It was a world that 51-year-old Gein had managed to keep hidden away until the winter of 1957.
November 16th, 1957 was the first day of deer hunting season that year. And it was a day when
The bite of
basically
57?
the entire male population of the town.
Wait, was that it?
would
I
have
don't
gone
know.
out
Maybe I don't know my
hunting deer,
FNAF
as Ed
lore
knew.
well enough.
Ed drove into town to the Warden hardware store. The Warden hardware store was owned by a woman named Bernice Warden.
I knew Mrs. Warden quite well.
Oh.
She and her family ran the hardware store here for many years. Almost everybody.
I
in the
think the
community
Wardens ran the Warden hardware
Ed
store.
had kind of been hanging around the store.
I don't know, I got a
for
hunch.
weeks previously. He had developed something of an obsession with Bernice Warden.
He would talk to her.
Oh,
He
yikes.
would ask her out, and it was quite clear that she really wasn't that interested in him.
Ed came in, asked to buy half a gallon of antifreeze, which Bernice Warden poured out for him and wrote out a receipt. He went back out to his truck, then came back inside and asked her to see the rifle that was in the window.
Okay,
When
well,
Bernice
I
Warden
took a little
turned
too
her
long.
back to him. He shot her in the
But
back
still,
of the
look at
head,
that. Ooh.
and then loaded her corpse in his truck and drove back to his farm.
Here, let's go back
Gein
so
had
you can get that
murdered the
dopamine.
58-year-old woman in broad daylight.
It was deer season, so
Oh,
deer
yeah.
season is like a ghost town around
Get that
here.
dopamine,
Everybody-
Romer.
In those days, especially, everybody was out hunting, and she wasn't even missed for for some hours. And when someone reported that she wasn't at the store, well, that was her son, of course.
Later that day, Frank Warden returned
Nice.
from the woods and found the store empty. His mother wasn't there.
All right,
He
let's
was
get this
very
bread.
Perplexed by that, and then he saw a trail of blood across the floor of the hardware store.
Oh,
And
no.
not only realized, that some foul play had occurred, but immediately suspected Ed Gein, because Gein had been kind of bothering his mother for the past few weeks.
Oh,
And there was
no.
one piece of evidence that confirmed Frank Warden's suspicions to the police.
When they went to search the place, they found the receipt for the antifreeze that was in Ed's name.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
just worked backwards, saying that he was probably the last person to see her alive, but they didn't suspect that he was as deranged as he was.
One set of lawmen went out in search of Gein. They found him having dinner at a neighbor's house, and they arrested him. And then another set of lawmen went out to Gein's farmhouse, and that's where they made these discoveries that really sent shockwaves around the world.
On a dark winter's night, officers from the
Dark
Plainfield
and
Police
winter.
Department began to search the Gein farm for Bernice Warden.
They couldn't get into the house, so they went around back and entered into what was called the summer kitchen, which was a little shed outside.
Okay,
This
summer
property didn't
kitchen.
have any electricity, so they were pretty much fumbling around in the dark with flashlights. But I don't think they expected to find what they did find there.
One of them turned on his flashlight and beamed it around and
Flashlight?
saw this object that was hanging from the rafters. which at first they thought was some kind of gutted
Is that what
deer.
Ed Gein would use to light up?
Although it didn't look like a deer, they realized to their incredible horror that it was a woman's corpse that was hanging by its heels and been completely gutted.
She'd been strung up, essentially, and she was slit from her sternum to her pelvis.
That's wild.
So she'd essentially been butchered by Ed. It really was the most grotesque thing that these officers had ever come across.
And they realized they had found the body of Burns Warden. And of course, both of them just stumbled out in horror and vomited, at the sight of this thing.
Yeah, I would vomit too.
When the news spread
Probably
across
shit
the
myself.
town, the residents of Plainfield were in complete shock.
When I heard of his arrest, I couldn't believe it. I was sure they had the wrong person because it just didn't seem like anything that they were telling us was the Ed that we all knew. Yeah, it was a Saturday night. We were at a dance, and the story went through there, and everybody said, "I don't believe it," but it was true.
That's wild.
After
See?
finding the butchered body of Bernice Wharton in a shed at Ed Gein's farm, the police officers moved their search into the main house.
Oh
He
no.
boarded up some areas of the family's
den.
home to maintain the rooms as his mother had left them. And in other parts of the property, he just started hoarding things. You would have trash and rubbish build up, and it really became a complete hovel.
He'd reverse the normal process of trash disposal. And instead of taking all his garbage to the dump, would go to the dump and bring it into his house. It was just this incredible chaos of trash and garbage.
So he was a hoarder on top of that.
Household waste.
Amid all that wreckage, they discovered these incomprehensible, unspeakably awful objects that had been fashioned out of human body parts. There were chairs that were upholstered in human
Damn!
flesh.
There was a
Damn!
lampshade made of human skin.
Holy
they found
crap!
The remains of 12 human heads, gloves made out of the skin from a corpse's fingers.
Holy crap!
Containing human noses. There was a box full of female genitalia, some of which had been painted.
Damn!
and
So much
tied with
death.
ribbons. There was a belt fashioned out of female nipples. There was a shade pole made of human
What the
lips.
hell?
They found all types of things that belonged to people that were no longer people. And it was shocking. I mean,
It's like
think
those
of this
aliens that turned
happening,
humans into
now it's still be
cubes.
shocking. But back then, in a small, tiny rural community, it was absolutely, it was breathtaking.
You would
Ed Gein's
imagine
farmhouse
someone
was
would notice
a
people
habitation
disappearing.
Of a literal ghoul. Somebody who had been living amidst these horrific relics of human dismemberment. It was a madhouse.
Yeah, I would assume. And then the music. These
Gein's
ads.
fascination with death and corpses had been growing ever since his mother had died 12 years previously.
Ed had always enjoyed reading. It was quite a solitary pursuit, so that's not particularly surprising. But after the death of his mother and his brother, he started to read an awful lot more, and his tastes in literature really did span quite a wide spectrum.
Spank?
He read pornographic magazines, he read medical textbooks, and he developed a particular interest in
Yikes.
Ilse Koch, who worked at one of the Nazi concentration camps and collected patches of skin of the prisoners who were detained there. And I think all of this was fueling a very active imagination. So he's developing these obsessions and these interests, and he's quite skilled as a farmhand at this point in time. He knows how to slaughter animals, he knows how to prepare carcasses.
Yeah, that's
He's
a
from
bit
community that's
worrisome.
very much into its hunting and its fishing. So at some point, reality and fantasy are going to collide.
Ooh,
As the
Besa
search
again.
of the farmhouse
Okay.
progressed, officers found that the grotesque collection of body parts became even more disturbing.
Among the most hideous of all the items were human skin masks that were hanging
Okay.
from the wall of his
Like
bedroom.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Faces of women that had been flayed from the skulls and that had been preserved. Some of them had lipstick applied to them and that had been hung on the walls.
Oh,
as decorations.
dude.
And then, most notoriously,
That's
there
very-
was a skin suit that Ed had crafted out of the upper torso of a woman and the leggings of a woman. And apparently, as he later confessed, he would put on this skin suit and put on one of the female skin masks.
No
and
way.
keep her around in his yard, pretending to be his mother.
Oh my god.
Gein's macabre collection had
Dude,
been
that's
acquired
terrifying.
From the very same cemetery where his mother's body lay.
That is
2 years
terrifying.
After the death of his mother in
Hell no.
1947, he
No one
starts
saw this
grave
shit?
robbing. So he's going into a local burial ground, he's digging up bodies, and he's taking
Ain't no
things from
way,
bodies.
dude.
Now, he's not taking jewelry or items of any value, he's actually taking body parts. It really is an absolute house of horrors.
Oh, so he was doing
what
it from a
started off as an
cemetery.
interest, which was confined to the pages of a book, has now become a reality behind the doors of this rather bizarre house. So what he's doing in a really grotesque way is trying to bring his
By the way, did you see that? The
back
person
to
that was
life
right
in
there
some way,
on the
shape,
screen?
or form,
Go
because
back
he
and
was
look.
so
They just took
dependent
all those
upon
shots
her
and didn't
for a
die.
sense of his own identity.
Yeah, the person with the
And
flames.
the search wasn't over yet. Officers would soon discover inside a paper bag in Gein's home
Ooh,
the
yikes.
severed head of a woman who'd been missing from Plainfield for over 2 years.
I think that the real tipping point for Ed Gein was when his mother and his brother died, because even though this family was very intense and rather extreme in its beliefs, it was still a check on his behaviour. There was still that informal
I don't know. It
surveillance
doesn't really
over
sound
him,
like it.
and I think that kept him contained. But once he was on his
I think it
own,
was just
he
damaging
was
his
free to ruminate,
mental.
fantasize, and his behaviour was only going to escalate.
You know, it's like some crack opened up, you know, in the civilized part of his head, and all this weird archaic stuff going back to the days, you know, when our species did engage in these bizarre, unspeakable rituals, you know, flooded out and took possession of him.
With Gein in
Yeah,
custody,
it is bizarre.
Officers continued to scour his home, and they were about to make another startling discovery. A local woman who'd been missing for almost 3 years.
There had been a female tavern keeper named Mary Hogan.
Tavern.
Who ran this roadside
He used the
tavern
word
outside
tavern.
Plainfield, who had disappeared very, very mysteriously.
In those days, we had 18-year-old bars where teenagers could go in and have beer. She ran one of those. It was a kind of a modest place, to be very kind. But she disappeared before I was old enough to frequent those establishments.
When she went missing, he'd said some rather bizarre things. He said to one of the townspeople, "Oh, she's not missing, she's up at the house." But because he was a bit of a misfit and because he was a bit weird, people didn't really take what he said very seriously at all. So that one was
Yeah,
to slip
no,
under
I
the
would take that
radar
shit
until
seriously.
this
I was like, are you kidding
grisly
me?
discovery A few years later.
In searching through Gein's
Dude, you're
house
going
of
to jail,
horrors,
dog.
The investigators opened up some receptacle. And
All right, gotta watch out for the
saw
birds.
This face and pulled it out and
Oh,
realized it was
shit.
Mary Hogan's.
YOLO
She had been
swag.
Another one of these victims.
B.
Gein
Damn
murdered
rip.
Mary Hogan on December the 8th, 1954.
Mary Hogan,
3 years
brother.
previous to killing Bernice Warden.
I think there was some sense in which he associated her with his mother. You know, she almost seemed to be like the shadow side of his mother. And I think in killing her, again, it was both enacting some kind of homicidal rage. toward
Okay,
his
it's just
mother,
tier 13.
But I think also there were times when he just ran out of suitable female corpses and had to make his own.
That was easy.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC branded pain relievers.
I
With just
can't get
one
it.
pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Back at the local police station, it was time for Ed Gein to start talking.
And they're moving way too fast for me.
The first day after his arrest, I think Ed felt like a bit of a fish out of water. He didn't quite know how to react, but he did start talking.
It's kind of hard to get in this part.
And the first thing he said was that he wanted an apple pie with a slice of cheese on it. And that really does
apple pie
show
with a slice of cheese. What the hell?
Of this guy. And when you've got somebody whose development stops at a particular point, they don't develop those complex emotions that enable them to empathize with other people,
yikes.
or to think through the consequences of their actions. So what you've got here is a teenage boy in a man's body, and he was capable of some really terrible things.
He was subjected to a very lengthy interrogation. He freely confessed to the murders of Bernice Ford and Mary Hogan. When the police first broke into Gein's house and discovered this crazy mass of body parts, their first assumption was Gein was a serial killer. It was only during his interrogation that he revealed that they were taken from the corpses he had dug up from his local cemetery. And people, in a way, had a harder time believing that than that he was a serial killer. That seemed like totally beyond the bounds of belief for a whole variety of reasons.
Human bodies are traditionally buried 6 feet underground. That's a lot of digging, that's a lot of
for real.
Through packed earth. He'd need spades, picks. He'd need to be strong, and he'd need, one assumes, to do it at night because
do you think maybe he
undisturbed.
I'm not sure he did recognize that what he was doing was wrong. You know,
he used like power equipment, you know what I mean?
Think, well, I wasn't really hurting anybody, you know, they were dead anyway.
Gein confessed to investigators that between 1947 and 1952, he regularly visited the local cemetery after dark.
He would often follow the local newspapers and read the obituaries, and when some middle-aged or elderly
normal stuff
who bore some vague resemblance to his departed mother died and was buried, he would apparently go out to the cemetery at night while the soil was still fresh and easily dug up. And exhume these coffins.
I ain't risking that.
And remove the bodies, and sometimes
it's gonna kick me out. Watch.
Back to his farmhouse.
Okay.
Sometimes just take parts of the corpse back to the farmhouse and leave them.
Okay, well, with that being said and done, I got a little bit over, about 17 minutes over. Yikes, the usual time, but hey, you know what? This series is going pretty smooth. Did the server just like go down? Here, let's try to change servers really quick. Let's click on best server. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Well, look at that, 13,920. I have a feeling the next part I'm gonna be done with Sorcerer. I have an inkling that I'm gonna be done with Sorcerer on the next part. You know, it's going by so quick, so fast. Here, let me go to my vault. See, is there anything I can use? No? Okay. Yeah, so, I went through and moved some stuff to some of my other characters, which you'll end up seeing more of in the parts to come. So, yeah. Got my Priesty over here. Got my Necro. I have my storage wizard over here. Spell stuff. Assassin. My actual, like I'm playing with wizard. But yeah, I mean, with that being said and done, you know, be cautious with who you associate with, stuff like that. I mean, there's freakos out there, like we heard about. You know, just be aware, be cautious, be safe. Go drink some water if it's been a while. Brush your teeth if it's been a few weeks. You might want to take a shower if it's been a few months. And if it's been a few years, you may want to eat some food. Getting some fresh outside plant oxygen air is wonderful for you. I recommend it. And more and most importantly, take care of yourselves in a healthy and responsible way so you can game yet another day. Alrighty, roamers. I will see you in the next part, during the next part, the time of which is the next part, once we get to the next part, in the event of which is the next part. So until the next part, I'll see you then and there at the next part. Alrighty. See ya, and until the next time, next part. See you there. Alrighty. Bye-bye. For now. Until the next part. So, peace.